Hello everybody, this is Albert with Green Tea House. I hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to introduce the August blend, which is Lavender Vanilla Yaupon. Now before we begin, if you haven't visited us here in New Braunfels, Texas, in a little hamlet called Green, halfway between San Antonio and Austin, come visit us. We'd like to meet you. Also, please subscribe and hit the notification button so these episodes come fresh to you. All right, we are in the middle of Texas heat, and I thought it'd be appropriate to do a Texas tea. Really, this is going to be a tisane, as it doesn't have Camellia sinensis, or it's from the tea plant. So the August blend is going to be Lavender Vanilla Yaupon. Now, lavender in Yaupon grow native to Texas. In fact, Yaupon has an interesting history. It grows native from about central to east Texas all the way across the American Southeast. Commonly it's called the Native American drink because when the colonists came to the New World in the 1600s, they noticed that the Native Americans were drinking tea. Now at this point in Europe, tea had gotten to the larger cities, especially London, by the 1660s, 1670s. So they knew what Camellia sinensis was, but as we talked about in the history of tea episodes, they really didn't know what Camellia sinensis was. I mean, that botanical phrase hadn't even existed yet. Anyway, so they came to the New World and they saw the Native Americans drinking this drink. And they noticed that a lot of the Native Americans were vomiting from drinking this plant called Yaupon. Now, Yaupon is related to the holly which they think of Christmas time. And so they were a little suspicious of this drink. What they didn't know, the Native Americans were spiking their Yaupon tea with things that made you vomit and even hallucinate. And so Yaupon kind of had this negative reputation among the white settlers. Now, when Camellia sinensis, when tea came to the New World truly in the late colonial period into the early American periods, the late 1700s, early 1800s, there was a time where Yaupon was actually more popular than tea. Why is this? Because Yaupon was cheap. Yaupon was considered to be not only the Native American drink, but the poor white man drink. And tea, of course, was expensive to import from England, which was imported then from China and India to England. And so tea was considered expensive. And so what happened eventually is that there was a smear campaign against Yaupon later on, in essentially using kind of like racist and class tactics to kind of obliterate the idea that Yaupon was good. Now, only in the last few years do you see a resurgence of Yaupon kind of being more well known. You see bartenders will use Yaupon in some of their drinks, and now you're going to see it as a tisane. So Yaupon in itself, it does not have, it's not from Camellia sinensis, so really it's not a tea, it's a tisane. What makes Yaupon unique though is Yaupon is an herbal that has caffeine. So similar to yerba mate, which also has a lot of caffeine, Yaupon does as well. Then we throw in a slight amount of lavender. Lavender grows native to Texas and it has that kind of great floral taste. And then we add in some vanilla to make it sweet. So it is kind of a sweet floral tisane that, of course, you can drink hot, you can drink it cold, and it only has about 45 milligrams of caffeine as opposed to yerba mate, the other well-known herb that has caffeine, and that has double the amount. How should you brew it? Should brew it, we use roasted Yaupon because there's going to be Yaupon differentiation based on how you prepare it, similar to the tea world, let's say green tea as opposed to black tea. So there's green Yaupon, there's roasted Yaupon, there's super roasted Yaupon, which is black Yaupon. We use roasted Yaupon, which gives it a kind of a nice kind of earthy vanilla undertone. So we recommend about 200 degrees. So brew this, if you're going to drink it hot, 200 degrees for about 5 minutes, and then you can reuse the leaves. And it's a nice drink, especially if you're from the South, because now you're drinking what Southerners drink for a long time. Guys, if you have any questions, always reach out, call us here at the tea store. Until next time, take care and God bless.